how's everybody doing? I had to run upstairs real quickly and get some of this sore throat spray because a little yelling this weekend at some of these games, trying to bring my teams home. Not Manchester United. They stink, man. They're so bad. A little herb under there, natural herb. All right. Welcome to another edition of Sean Miller, Soccer Betting Genius. And, you know, they call me the genius. The show's a little bit short today. There's not a lot of action. I don't want to say short. There's just not a lot of action this week, or at least on Tuesday. There's a lot of games on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. But back, I don't know if any of you are football, like NFL fans, but my man Mark Eckel, who covered the Eagles for 30 years, we were at Saratoga one year and started calling me the genius because I went to Columbia and SAT tutor and all this stuff. I did really well in my SAT and whatever. And I'm a genius. I'm in Mensa. So I'm actually a card-carrying genius. That's a true fact. So they started calling me that, and the name stuck. I was coaching soccer in high school and U23, all this stuff. Genius. That's why it's called Soccer Betting Genius. It's a little play on words. Anywho, if you are with us on Friday, you will know. I'm going to see if I can find these. My weekend plays. I pulled this up. Burnley didn't do well. That Tottenham Liverpool game, I talked to my neighbor across the street, and he's a Liverpool fan. His kid is a City fan, so his kid was all upset. He wanted to beat his dad in the Champions League final, and he asked me, what did you think about this weekend? I said, listen, I'll be honest. Liverpool plays Tottenham, and City plays Newcastle. I think one of those games, somebody's going to drop points. I just thought somebody was going to drop points in this contest. So I was confident it was going to be Liverpool. I thought that was going to be a tough game. So to me, I just thought Tottenham was going to be able to play well. It was a 2-2 draw last time. So I thought that was going to be maybe the title decider. And as soon as Liverpool lost, I knew City was going to kill Newcastle, or I didn't know 5-0. I thought it was going to be a little more competitive than that. But once City scores 2 or 3 goals, it's over. It's going to be 5. Goal difference is big right now in this tournament. We have, obviously, Aston Villa plays Liverpool tomorrow on the road. Liverpool's going to have a chance to post a number. Goal difference right now is plus 68 for City, plus 64 for Liverpool. City has a 3-point lead. So goal difference is going to maybe come down to the title. But that's saying Manchester City's going to lose the game. And, I just don't know where it is. Had Arsenal over, the Sunday scores. We'll go over those real quickly. I think Arsenal 2-1. We had the minus 1.25 Asian handicaps, so the late leads goal down a man actually kind of tanked half the bet. Everton plus 185. I thought, remember, Leicester City had played in Rome earlier on Thursday and had to come home and play Everton. Everton is fighting for its Premier League lives. I mean, they haven't been down. So, I thought that was interesting. I just liked Everton in that game, and we're going to talk about Everton a little bit tomorrow. And I will talk about them tonight on By the Book Bets. If you're watching this show and you want to see me later tonight, I'll be on By the Book Bets on Monumental Sports from 6 to 6:30 ish with Chris Cheon and Meg McDonald. They do a great job, and my woman Sarah Krieger helps out there, gets everything ready to go. Saturday with those games, Wolves are pretty good. Manchester United, they stink. I can't even be bothered with them. Cadiz, against Elche, we kind of highlighted that Cadiz team needing a win there, and at minus 137, 3-0. I thought that was pretty good. Napoli won in Serie A. They were plus 102. Thought that was a pretty good win. We picked Nice in the France Coupe de France. They didn't win. Marseille won. That was big. Ajax, Feyenoord and PSV tied. Ajax tied. So Ajax can win the title. We'll talk about them tomorrow. So we did have some pretty good games. And then Sunday, I didn't even see, to be honest. AC Milan won 3-1, so had that too. I think it's a little easier to pick these games on weekends. Obviously, there's a lot more games to pick from. So, you don't have to go. I was debating whether to, pick the National League in England, this is like fifth tier, or, qualification in Netherlands. I think maybe you could do that, and, Turkish Cup and stuff. I think there's a lot of money to be made in those leagues. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely chances to make money. League One, Algeria, Czech Republic, First League, relegation. You're betting some teams that aren't very good. Yes, there is some money to be made. But my philosophy as a soccer bettor or football bettor is that, I don't want to bet on bad teams, man, unless I see some kind of edge. Everton fighting for relegation, Leicester City just back from Rome. They don't care. They're out of all the cups. They're not playing. The season's over. There's nothing to play for. One team has everything to play for. One team is playing not to get hurt. They couldn't be bothered, right? They're probably rotating some players. There's not much of a thing there, And I will say, I've said this multiple times, I watch a lot of games. I have see my TV. I have Fubo TV. I don't have cable. I don't have Fios. I used to have a Sling box that hooked up to my parents' Fios, and that was cool. But now they don't even do that anymore. The Sling box stopped working or whatever. Now they got Sling TV and stuff. But I get Fios, and I don't really watch television. I watch Mr. Robot. It's my see where it is. See that right there, Mr. Robot. It's my guy, Elliot Alderson. I watch that show. I watch some, different shows, Port Protection, stuff like this. But I watch a lot of games. At night, on weekends, Monday nights, 8:00 at night. BN Sports will have a replay from the French League, Ligue 1 or something like this, and it'll be some 4-3 game from the weekend. It's from 8 to 10 or from 9 to 11. I'll just sit there and watch it. I'll have it on in the background and doing other stuff. I don't really watch. I just like to watch games. So I watch more soccer probably than a lot of people. Yesterday, I'm doing the social media for my team, and I'm doing, we're watching it in this Clip Pro. It's awesome. This thing, it just takes the clips from the games for NBA, baseball, this stuff, anything, and it just takes them and aggregates them. So it's really cool. But I just watch a lot of games. So I'm not going to pick a lot of these games that I don't know. That's just me. But, I know some of you will. And if you have any questions about that, please ask me. I will do my best to break these games down. If you like Young Boys in St. Gallen in the Super League. It's not the worst game ever. It's actually a pretty decent game. If Young Boys scores a lot of goals. If you have a question about that, please ask. I'll definitely jump on it and let you know what I think. You got to make sure you are following our 6 hours of great info, which is now maybe on Thursday, 6.5, because Jim Williams and I are doing the Formula One show. How about that, man? Formula One in Miami. It's so crazy. It's so awesome as a Formula One guy. I really, that was really cool. Be sure to follow the Max Wagers Network all day. Midday Money, Sean Higgs, Allie Burns, 1 to 2, Morning Wood, Just Parlays with Chris King, 2 to 3, Back to the Window, Scott and Scott, me at 4, 5 o'clock, Game Time Decisions, Nick, Tim, and Lenny. They got some good info coming on after us, so make sure you're watching that stuff. And, remember, I'm on the show on the weekends on ESPN Radio, Friday nights and Saturday mornings. And in the fall, it'll be Friday nights, Saturday mornings, Saturday nights, Sunday mornings. Caesars, once again, we got another week of the Bet Boost. Free bet insurance, $1,100. First-time wager of up to $1,100, and you get it back in the form of free bet if you lose. You're not going to lose. Be positive. We're going to win, right? ATS wins SC. ATS win SCZR. Links are in the show box below. Okay. So now that we've got that out of the way, Tuesday picks. Once again, it's a little bit of a thin slate. So what do we got? Aston Villa and Liverpool, minus 220. Draw plus 360. I am of the opinion that there is no chance in this game that Stevie G doesn't roll over for Liverpool and keep them in the title race. There is no chance. Even though Stevie G grew up an Everton fan and he has all kinds of Everton shirts as a kid, and then he played for Liverpool and he wanted to leave Liverpool and all this stuff. He's Liverpool. There's no chance. Aston Villa got its win on the weekend. Absolutely annihilated Burnley 3-1. Villa is up to 11th on 43 points. There's no chance they get relegated right now. They could finish in the top 10, which would be pretty interesting. But there's no way that Liverpool loses or drops points in 2 games. I thought the decisive, I thought it was just going to be one slip up. Stevie G slip, right? Get it? I thought there was going to be one slip up, and Liverpool slipped up now, and now no margin for error. I think obviously going to come out. Caesars has a first goal scorer boost of plus 350 on Mo Salah. I thought that was pretty interesting on this game. I like Liverpool a little bit, minus 1.5, plus 120. Liverpool over 2.5, plus 155. I think they just get back and start to pummel teams. They refocus. There's no, they have to basically try to go now and pick up some goal difference. One title, one time came down to goal difference. I don't want to talk about it. It was in 2012. That's all I'll say. And right now, the goal difference is plus 4. So Liverpool's got to make up a plus 4 goal difference in 4 games. Now, remember, if Liverpool is going to catch Manchester City, that means Manchester City is going to lose a game, which means their goal difference is going to come down. It's definitely doable. However, once again, Manchester City will probably win the other 2 games by whatever score, so you have to score some goals. I think Liverpool over 2.5 is a good bet here. I like this bet boost a lot. I don't know if Salah will be the one to score the first goal, but if they're going to give me plus 350 to do it on a bet boost, I'm definitely going to take a chance, maybe throw a couple bucks down on it and do that. If anybody has any kind of stories from the weekend, I know Bill last week while we were watching the game. He live bet in Nkunku to score during the game, the Rangers and RB Leipzig. That was a pretty cool bet. It hit while we were on air. I always think that's pretty good. If you have any kind of plays that you had this weekend that maybe, big plus money plays or a live bet that, you weren't sure on, Manchester City when they're up 3-0, Manchester City +4 maybe. Those are always interesting bets. I go back to that Leeds Liverpool game. The Manchester United beat Leeds 4-2, and Manchester United stinks. So I'm like, Liverpool played Leeds 3 days later. I said, look, I'm going to take Liverpool -3, -4, -5. Liverpool over 5.5, like 3.5, 4.5, 5.5 goals, all like heavy plus -5 is like +14. And they scored 3 goals in the final 5 minutes to win 6-0 and win like all the bets. Those are like legendary days. If you had anything like that, please let me know. I always love stuff like that. They're really cool stories. There's some pretty cool stories out there from some of these bets. So next game here, in La Liga on Tuesday. Foxy, man, it had, Foxy says, shocking weekend for me, took Sunday off. I think, if you're a bettor and you've been doing this for a while, I this is me personally, I know, like, when I'm hot, I'm like NBA Jam. Remember the old NBA Jam game when you just like you hit 3 in a row and he's on fire, and then everything you throw up goes in, everything you throw up. There's some times when I hit these parlays and I'm just like, man, this is crazy. This is like I hit the crazy, like they just come in like bunches, like buses in Manhattan, and you're like, here you go, plus you're here's $300, here's $500, whatever. You're just winning, and then like you'll go and you'll put another bet in. And you'll say, you know what, I'm going to just see if this is, if I'm really this hot, and sometimes it hits and you're just like, this is ridiculous. I just keep betting. I didn't, these, when you have, first of all, that league is like Roma's out of it. Roma can't qualify for Champions League, right? So they're out of it. The only way they can qualify for Europe right now, they're in Europa League. But if they win the Europa Conference League, then they're in the Europa League. They're not worried about this league right now. He's worried about getting healthy. I saw this with Manchester United, with Jose. They finished 6th that year, but they won the Europa League, so they went back to the Champions League. Fiorentina is very good as well. Fiorentina actually is even on points now with them. So, Fiorentina can catch them. Now, it's a gamble because, if you lose, you're back on, you're back in the Conference League. But, Jose is going to get his team ready to win the Conference League. And that game, I believe, is not until, I think it's the 26th. It's May 25th. The Europa League final is May 18th. The Conference League final is the 26th. Daryl, I don't know. I'm not watching the game. Bill could probably tell you a little bit more about that game right now. I don't really have a sense for the contest. I don't really love the game, to be honest. They just played, a tough game. I know, Sheffield Wednesday, Sunderland is in 77th minute here, 1-0. That could be going to extra time. There's still a lot of time left. Roma's not really kind of looking at that. They're not really worried about that. And then Daryl, about Liverpool under, I like the over, to be honest. I think Liverpool is going to win that game pretty easily. Stevie G. Yeah, Fiorentina's up 2-0. It's the same thing for me with Barcelona. There's really nothing to play for. The league's over. They're in the Champions League. Celta Vigo, really nothing to play for. They should win that game, but I don't know. It could be like 1-0. I don't really love it. I like the games here on Tuesday. I like, you got Valencia at plus 245, Betis at plus 110. Betis is 2 points ahead of Real Sociedad in fifth in the Europa League spot. I don't think they're going to catch Atletico Madrid after Madrid beat Real Madrid this weekend. So big game for Betis after they won the cup. Valencia is dead in the water, -4 goal difference, not really anything to play for. I would probably take a chance on Betis here, and Betis to score a couple goals. I think they're pretty good, pretty offensively talented team. Yeah, look, if you like Roma to get back in it, Abraham, let's see see what the lineup is here. See if they're still in the contest. Yeah, he's still out there. So Abraham and Pellegrini up top. It's not the worst lineup ever, but I just think they're kind of like treading water at this point. Yeah, look, look, Barcelona, the game doesn't matter. Liverpool has to win the game. They have to. Like, they got to win because if they lose, the title's over. They also have, they do have an FA Cup final on Saturday, and we'll talk about that Friday against Chelsea. But, I think Tuesday, Saturday is a decent amount of time, and, we've all heard, well, I've heard some stories about the recovery of the Liverpool. They have the miraculous recoveries all the time. They must have a really good recovery program over there because these players are just running at top speed all the time. So it's talk about the fitness and everything. They're always high pressing and stuff. I just maybe they win 1-0 or 2-0, but goal difference is big. They have to win. They got to win, and they got to put some pressure on Manchester City. If they lose or if they draw, I just 1-0, anything could happen. I just think they have to put some pressure on City. If they don't, they're done. If they drop points here, City's going to go out and win on Wednesday, and the title's over. Manchester City won the title. And then Liverpool, goes into the FA Cup final in bad form. And all of a sudden, their dream season starts to teeter a little bit, I just think, yeah, look, cash out is always good. Last week I talked about this a little bit. I don't love when you're betting now, you want to try to find teams that have something to play for. I know, look, Aston Villa and Burnley and stuff like that, but like you want to the results or whatever. Like, to me, I don't want to back a team. Like, I don't feel comfortable backing a team that has nothing. Like Arsenal against Leeds yesterday. Arsenal. Yeah, Daryl, I don't think they care. They can't. They can't really. They're going to finish second, or they're 4 points ahead of Sevilla, but second and third doesn't matter. Atletico Madrid's in 64 points. They're in the Champions League, second, third, fourth. Who cares? They're still in the Champions League. I think they want to just get the season over with at this point. No trophies and stuff like this. So maybe they showcase some of the younger players. Maybe some of the younger players are hungry and they come in and they say, listen, we're going to play well. That could happen too. That's the thing. It's just the unpredictability, of the games. I want to try to minimize my unpredictability for some of these lineups. Yeah, Foxy, look, Newcastle is already safe. I know they want to finish in the top 10 and whatever, all this stuff, and finish the season pretty well, but they're safe. They're on 43 points. They're going to finish 15th. Liverpool, Atletico Madrid. Who's Atletico Madrid playing? Elche? Not bad. There's some decent games Wednesday. The Coppa Italia final, all the Eredivisie, Ajax plays. There's a lot more games. There's 4 Premier League games, but there's some value today, or for tomorrow. So, but once again, these teams we're talking about, Roma, Newcastle, Barcelona, they've been very good. Like Newcastle's been really good over the last 4 months since the break, but they're safe now and they got really nothing to play for. Like at this point now, you want them to be healthy going into the next year, and they're going to sign a bunch of players, and Newcastle is going to be a top 7 team next year, 100%. I'm convinced of that, and they're probably about 2 or 3 years away from top 4, top 5. Got some rugby. Wanted to bring that up. I don't know if anybody did anything with that rugby on the weekend. Just want to check something real quick. Yeah. Yeah, Real Madrid plays Thursday. I mean, once again, like they should win, but they're not playing. He's rotating players. Levante is in 19th place. Real Madrid's backups should probably win that game, but they're not real worried about it. They won the league. He's going to rotate players to keep some players in form so that, they're ready for the Champions League and they're rested. So, this might be a different, kind of a different lineup. I would rather bet Real Madrid now than maybe closer to the Champions League final. There's 3 matches left in La Liga. Yeah, Holland to City. Apparently, City went and negotiated on Mino Raiola's deathbed to make sure he got there. I think Pogba said today he's going to the continent. But to be honest, look, if he goes to City, obviously he's dead to any United fan. But, he's always injured. It's been a little bit of a bust. It's been a lot of a bust. We have, look, National League England. You got the Eredivisie qualification. You got the teams from the lower division playing the teams from the upper division, which is always interesting. Let me see if I can get those. I won't even list them. Be honest, I don't really love playing those games. The better team should win. But who's the better team? The team that finished in 17th in one division or 3rd in another division, in the lower division? I mean, they're probably pretty even. I do like Ajax a little bit again, but they're minus 835 right now. They got the relegation in Scotland, qualification. Those games are terrible. Young Boys, St. Gallen, it's not the worst game ever. There's just not a lot of action on Tuesday. And, there's no Copa Libertadores, some of these other ones. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. So I wanted to Belgian games tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah, there's some I saw those. I like betting that league sometimes. It's Ghent, Genk, Mechelen, and Sporting Charleroi. It's the Europa Conference League group, so it's not like the top teams. So it's like a little bit like championship group is Wednesday. Club Brugge and St. Galois. That's a huge game. Those teams are pretty close. Bruges obviously is Champions League team and usually good. This Union St. Galois has been very good all year. They're leading the league all year, but you got to finish the season. So Belgium does it a little differently with those playoff groups. They cut the league like Scotland does, half and half, and then they try to I think it's into 3 championship group, Europa League, Conference League group, and then relegation. So I just wanted to see if I can get these up real quickly for you. All sports. All right. Settings. Let's remove this and let's share screen. All right. I don't know if anybody took those the rugby bets last week. You saw, it's a little bit different. Last week, remember, it was all minus 350 and minus 500 and minus 600. There's not as many games like that this week. You see South Sydney plus or minus 315, Cronulla minus 375, Queensland, 315. Take that, you take those 3 games right there and you get a plus 121 parlay. I know some of the results last week, some of the people hit on those bets. It was pretty interesting stuff. These games, against these teams here, minus, it's a little bit closer. I try to stay away from some of them. I know like Parramatta and Sydney are both pretty good. Penrith is good. But Melbourne is obviously good as well because Penrith is a very good team and they're only minus 167. So you get a chance to maybe do that. But if anybody won anything on those rugby league games, please let me know. Yeah, Daryl, it's NRL. NRL games, overnight. And, I talked last week a little bit early in the week about, maybe going parlay, big favorite parlay here. And, plus 121 on 3 big favorites. There's other ways to bet it too. You can click into this and you got the money line. Your regular time obviously is, whatever. You got the spread line. You can slide this up and down. So you can parlay, if you think, maybe instead of doing minus 305, it's minus 3.5. So you get them at minus 205, which is pretty good. Because remember, 4 points for a try, 2 points for the other one. So, you get South Sydney here. And just change that 1. South Sydney. Let's go Cronulla. Let's take Cronulla down to minus 3.5. That's already a plus 106. So that's a 2-team parlay. So that's interesting there. And then North Queensland, let's take them down to 3.5. So now all of a sudden you got a plus 200 parlay on 3 games. 2 games. Let's see the round robins. 20 pays plus 124. So, you got plus money on the 2 round robins. It's not bad. I think there's, some ways to do that. Let me shop. Listen, Daryl, the games are, it's the same kind of strategy I like to play in my soccer plays, with the PSG. The teams are not PSG this year because they're so fluky with Messi, but like, the minus 300s, 3 minus 300 teams parlay together is a plus parlay. Here, you can do it, and you can, like I showed you with the round robin, you can, if only 2 of the teams hit, you're still winning money. So, and then if 3 of them hit, you win big money. So, I think it's just a way to do stuff. Let me stop staring at that screen. it's just an interesting way. And last week it was all the minus 300. So sometimes, I'll skip a week. I'll say, I'm not going to put too many bets in on NRL. I try to put, one in, one parlay. And sometimes I forget about it because it's so late at night. And you're just like, oh, yeah. You look in your account and you won, $100 or whatever. But there's a possibility to win some money on these games. Some of these teams are not very good. And we're still early in the season, I think 9 or 10 weeks. A month or now, 2 months from now, you're going to start seeing these teams spread out a little bit. And there's going to be these teams that are like 4-10 playing, 11-3 teams. And you're going to get these minus 400s. And you're going to be able to bet it down to minus 3.5, which is basically like one touchdown. It's like betting at minus 5 now, because remember on the NFL games, remember you used to bet at minus 6.5, right? Because it would be under 7, but you can't do that now because the extra points from like midfield. So you gotta take it to minus 5.5 because there's always these extra. If somebody misses an extra point, you don't want to get kind of screwed on that hook at 6.5. So it's just a different way to do it. But there's a lot of money to be made in rugby, especially, and there's other rugby leagues. I don't really mess with too many of the other leagues, but I definitely like the NRL. Now, let me just talk about this Rich Strike. This horse, I went to Parks. I like Cyberknife. That was my horse, right? 16, and then I bet my birthday. Just because I already had 16. And we used to go to Saratoga every year, and our main thing was, these races, you see the also entered, at the bottom. You're like, they never get in, right? Because they're somebody's got to scratch. Nobody scratches out of Kentucky Derby, so he's not getting in, right? Somebody scratches out of Kentucky Derby, and this horse gets in at like 11:59 and 59 seconds. Like, you talk to him afterwards, and he was in like right when the thing ended, right? So if that ever happens, you always put money on that horse. Always. It doesn't matter the odds. If the horse gets in, you have to put money on it. They're not. It's like a fluke they get in. It doesn't even matter. The horse doesn't have time to think, right? You always put money on it. And I just I didn't even think about it. Until after I'm watching this horse and they set it in the gate. I turn to my fiance and say, "Oh, this horse just got in. We always bet this horse is going to do something now." And you see the ride, and the horse is like the smartest. I put it on my Twitter, by the way, my Twitter right there at the Prodigal Sean. If you have any questions, just please follow me and ask me, direct DM me and stuff like that. And I said, this, you see the horse kind of cut in. You see the horse look over like this and look over at the horse and cuts inside, right? And then goes to the rail. And then you see the horse look over at the horse and goes, and then turns and is coming and then just beats him. The horse twice. I showed a video on my Twitter. I'm like, the horse looks, goes past him, looks again, and then goes. This horse is just a genius, like the genius horse, right? And the jockey, they don't even know the jockey's name. Well, always, I can't believe, and it was there. And somebody was saying, it was a closer. But the other thing is, if please, you got to show me the ticket. There was no possible way you could have bet that horse other than something like that, right? Because you can't. The horse had won one race. It was a maiden claiming race. You could have claimed the horse for like $30,000 last year. It's crazy. It's like the craziest story ever. They're definitely 100% writing a movie about this at some point. It's going to be like Seabiscuit Secretariat, the Mighty Ducks all combined into one. And it's just a crazy, crazy story. But that's the thing is, Leicester City in 2015 and 2016. They were in April, they were ready to go. They were ready to get relegated in 2014, 2015. They were ready to get relegated. They go on that tour, because the sponsors are from Thailand, right? And the owners. They go on that tour and like there's a crazy video and like all these people get fired and everything happens. The coach gets fired and they 5,000 to 1 and they won. And Liverpool and not Liverpool, Tottenham and Arsenal, like they all let them win. That's why betting is awesome, though. Like Stuart, you see this, and we talk about these parlays, the parlay hits, and these people hit these parlays sometimes, like plus 5,000 parlays or plus 10,000 parlays. Me betting North Carolina to win, the East region and whatever, like it's plus 2,500. But you don't get these all the time. It's tough. The horse was 80 to 1 for a reason. But people had it. Somebody had it. Somebody bet the horse, right? So it is what it is. That's why betting is awesome sometimes. It's, it's very frustrating when, you get like, you can let it like, man, I can't believe I didn't have it. But what can you do, man? Nobody had it. If anybody had it, the horse wouldn't have been 80 to 1. It would have been 5 to 1, right? Yeah, look, man, exactly. Yeah, look. It was unbelievable. The race was, the horse was just so smart. It ran such a great race. A bee flying around in here. I gotta go back outside. Ran such a great race. That's why betting is awesome, though. All right, so once again, I like Liverpool in this game. There's no chance Stevie G doesn't slip and roll over for this game. I just think that's just my opinion. I just think, he's Liverpool. He's from, he's Liverpool. He's gonna, if he can he handed Chelsea the title against Manchester United that time. I can't even get started. Back pass. I'm still fuming about that. No chance. Liverpool minus 1.5, plus 120. I think that's pretty good odds. You could take them at -1 for a little bit, whatever, or minus 1.25 if you're a little bit thing. But, if you're going to bet at minus 1.25 in this game, me personally, I think Liverpool over 2.5. If Liverpool scores 3 goals, they're going to cover 1.5. Here you go. Salah first goal scorer, Caesars bet boost plus 350. Salah over, or Liverpool over 2.5. Look at this. I'm going to show you this. Foxy hit a 6-game parlay in the Uruguayan League a couple months ago for all draws at 900 to 1. He bet $2. That's the thing, man. You can't, like, afterwards you want to say, so $1,800, right? Like, you want to say, I should have bet $100. I always do that. I'm like, damn, I should have bet $100. You got to just say, you know what, man? I just won $1,800 on a $2 bet. Like, that's awesome. That is so, like, that's my mortgage payment. It's my car payments. That's for 3 months or whatever. It's awesome. I always think of it like that, man. When I win something, like when North Carolina won, and they won the East region, and I won like $1,500 on like a $40 bet. I'm like, man, I just paid whatever for a month. I could go out and eat filet mignon every night if I want to. I don't do that, but it is what you. Hey, listen, man, you won $1,400. You can do what you want. Those are the kind of these are awesome. I love this stuff. In England, when you go over there, it's the ACCAs, right? They call them the ACCAs. And these guys like hit these, I see on Twitter all the time, they hit these like 20 to 1. They'll play like these crazy, like 20 team parlays for like 50 cents. And like 50p over there, 50 pence, right? And like they'll come out and they'll win like 80,000 pounds. You're just like, man, you just bet 50 pence and won 80,000 pounds. It's like $120,000. It's just so crazy. It happens, though. You don't have to bet a lot of money to win money, especially with the plus money game. That's why I like the parlays. Every once in a while, when you see this, the rugby, maybe you take a chance. Maybe you say, you know what? I'm going to go South Sydney, Canterbury, Penrith. Look at that. Plus 500. It's 5 teams. I probably wouldn't do it. It's not bad. This Penrith team is really good. Take those away. You're plus 121. Oh, man. All right. Plus 121. Anytime you can win a plus 121 bet, doesn't matter if you're betting $20, $40, $100, $1,000, whatever you bet. That's the other thing. Like, talked about, I just want to win $50. I want to win $350 a week. I want to win $200 a week. I want to be able to pay my whatever moving company to be able to do that, right? Look, you win a couple plus money plays, you're already there. You got to remember, you got to like and subscribe. Every day you can watch all this awesome stuff. We got 6 hours of programming. 6 hours. And what's your favorite show on here other than obviously my show, because you're all here? You like Midday Money, Sean Higgs, Morning Wood, Allie Burns. I'll be on Allie Burns' show, I think, on Thursday. Just Parlays, Chris King. I like to just Parlays. I was on there once too. Back to the Window, Scott and Scott. It's me. Then at 5, Game Time Decisions. Those guys look at some stuff a little bit before. We're always talking a day later. Some of these people are betting. You're talking about games that they're starting in an hour, starting in 2 hours. People are tuned in to that stuff. Look, I know bettors have a short memory and they're focused on their next bet. Sometimes, if you're a soccer bettor, maybe that next bet isn't until Friday. Maybe it's not until Wednesday. Maybe it's not until Saturday. You want to target a game. Baseball, there's soccer games every day, but, sometimes it's hard to find those games. But, I think sometimes it's cool to get that information right up to the game time. In the summer, excuse me, when I know it's cool when we're watching the championship game there, we're talking about live betting. In the summer, when the Premier League is about to start, I'm probably going to do a Saturday show leading up to the matches, 9 to 10. Looking, hey, here's the lineup for this game. What do you think about this? My goal always, I've always wanted to do a betting show where you have you're talking about the live games on Saturdays. I've always had this idea in my head. I said, man, if we do a live betting show from 9 to 12 or 9:30 to whatever, 11, and you can sit there and you can say, listen, here's the lineup for these games. This is interesting. I like this. The line's moving. So I think it's going to be really cool to be able to do that, and I'm excited for that in August when it starts. Foxy says, being in the UK, I'm still stuck in the parlay culture, but the US last year I adopted a single betting more. I go back and forth. I'm a parlay guy with soccer, and once again, I like to play the heavy favorites. But every once in a while, that Austin FC MLS game, who do I have this weekend? I liked Marseille at minus 110. I just thought they're a better team. I'll bet that more sometimes. It's frustrating when you bet a 14 parlay and 3 teams win, and the first team is your loss. So then you gotta say, man, I gotta do another parlay. But yeah, there's different ways to do it. I just, there's so many ways to bet. I love it. All right, so make sure, remember, like, subscribe, ring that bell. We're going to be back here tomorrow at same thing, 4 to 5, and we're going to be talking. There's a lot of action on Tuesday, and there's a lot of big games. Leeds and Chelsea on Wednesday. Leicester City, Norwich City. Oof. I'll bet that game. Watford, Everton, huge. Watford, Everton, huge game for Everton. And Watford's already down. So right now, Leeds is the favorite to go down. Let's see if we have the futures. Premier League futures. Relegation markets right now. Leeds plus 100. They're in the relegation zone. Burnley plus 110. Everton plus 1,000. So the odds completely shifted. Leeds plays Chelsea at home. Brighton and Hove Albion at home, who's playing very well right now. And Brentford on the road. Burnley plays Tottenham on the road. Aston Villa on the road. And Newcastle United at home. That Newcastle United game could be interesting because once again, they might have nothing to play for. Burnley, yeah, look, I was stunned. They played so well for so many weeks. They got that bump. They're in with a chance now. They looked like they were going to be down. Now you see them, they got a much, this is going to be key right here. I'm telling you. Minus 17 goal difference to minus 35. Daryl, rugby is... The game times are weird. Obviously, it's Australia. So Friday overnight. Daryl, I don't know where you are. Eastern time. I'm Eastern, right? So it's Friday, 4 a.m. So Thursday overnight. Friday, 6:05 a.m. Saturday overnight. Saturday overnight. Saturday overnight. Saturday night. So this is like Friday. This is Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on where you are. This is definitely Friday night, right? This Friday night, Friday morning. Sorry, like if you're in the East Coast, it's 6:05. You're West, it's 3:05. This is 1 a.m. Eastern, so 10 o'clock if you're in the West. Overnight Friday night, overnight Friday night, overnight Saturday night, 11:50 at night. Overnight Sunday, Saturday into Sunday, right? So it's really late. The games are on TV too. If you're if you like to watch them, I actually like NRL. It's a little different than the other rugby. You got to get rid of the ball after 5. It's a little like football. You got 4 or 5 chances to go, and then you got to kick it. So I think it's pretty cool like that. But yeah, look, definitely got a chance to win some money on that. So all right. Like, subscribe, ring that bell. Follow me on Twitter at The Prodigal Sean. I'm on Instagram at The Prodigal Sean as well. I got a lot of good people on there. So make sure you're following. And we will see you, or I will see you tomorrow.